Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. فعرفت إبليس وجميع المفاسد. وبسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. قسمت رسول الله صلى الله تعالى عليه.
Unfortunately, it's not working too well. And the reason for that is because we are damaging and destroying our immune system. Okay? Allah says that He is what? He has created us in the best fashion. لَقَدْ خَلَقْنَا الْإِنسَانَ فِي أَحْسَنِ تَقْوِيمٍ. So we are created and made in the best fashion. Everything that Allah put down here on this earth, it was already complete. It was designed and developed in the best manner. Man could not come and improve on anything. The only thing he could do was wreak havoc. So, quickly, the verse 30, which is, we call it Ayatul Fitrah, is the verse of Fitrah. And so set your purpose constantly towards the one ever true faith in accordance with the natural way which Allah has instilled upon man. Do not allow, and there's no word in there of where they say to corrupt. Allah says, La tabdila li khalqillah. Do not change. That translation, I leave it because it can be very deceiving. And I've had an argument with people that say, well, no. Allah doesn't say here, don't change. He said, don't allow any the change to corrupt. So it can be a good change. I said, excuse me. In the Arabic, there is no such thing as that verse in that structure. Allah says, La tabdila li khalqillah. Let there be no change to the creation of Allah. Okay? Is food and drink a creation of Allah? Okay, then y'all didn't have to think about that. All right, so now we get near the end. Y'all just bear with me. All right? Because I told you, you're going to leave with knowing a little bit of what to do. You may not be ready to do it, but you'll learn a little bit. Anybody know what this is right here? Okay, remember earlier I asked you, has Allah's creation, as when it comes to food and drink, has it been changed? And some people said, yes. I said, well, if it has, tell me what it is. Right? And then some people say, well, if you get the heirloom seeds, right, you're cool, right? Okay. And I'm not picking, everybody says that. I used to say it. I couldn't wait to try to find it, right? No, yes, that's my saying. Get the best of the worst. Right. So, but here's the thing. It's just to show you that Allah's creation, when it comes to food and drink, has been changed. We do not have access in terms of our eating on a daily basis to the food that Allah has created in His original form. And that's what Dr. Sabi was trying to get across. By the time he left, he was like, he wasn't taking nothing. He wanted no garlic. I was like, when he said no garlic, I'm like, come on, Dr. Sabi. Now, garlic goes in my tea now. Come on now. No ginger, Dr. Sabi, what you talking about? And now I'm like, Dr. Sabi, man, I know just what you were saying. SubhanAllah. SubhanAllah. Anyway, how many of you eat cabbage? All right. Keep your hands up. And you only put them down when... How many of you eat broccoli? Yeah. Cauliflower? Now I know, come on, y'all make them kale. You know, kale is the thing. They push that kale. Because kale is your newer one. It's your newer hybrid. The newer one. No, that's why they're pushing it out. Everything that come out new. So that kale ain't no joke. Right? Brussels sprouts? And I just saw this one recently. Kohlrabi. It's more something out of China. But all of these plants were bred from the original, what they call the original mustard green or the original cabbage.
Wow, okay.
Yes. Now wait a minute. They call those things cultivars. Yes. You know, you've heard words, oh, the food is cultivated. And you think the cultivation that Allah is talking about in the Quran is what they're talking about. Oh, they got something completely different. So what is a cultivar? Cultivated variety is an assemblage of plants selected for desirable characteristics that are maintained during propagation. More generally, a cultivar is the most basic classification category of cultivated plants in the International Code of Nomenclature for cultivated plants. Most cultivars arose in cultivation, but a few are special selections from the wild. Popular ornamental garden plants like roses, you might know this, camellias, daffodils, rhododendrons, whatever, are cultivars produced by careful breeding and selection for flora, color, and form. Similarly, the world's agricultural food crops, please hear this, hello? Similarly, the world's agricultural food crops are almost exclusively cultivars.
Terrible.
Hello? Okay? That have been selected for characters such as improved. Look what they're doing. Look why they did it. This is very important now. Why did they do it? They've been selected for characters such as improved yield. So you're going to improve on, you're going to do better than God. Flavor, God didn't give it a good enough flavor. Wait a minute. And resistance to diseases. Lord have mercy. Well, what diseases did we have when God's stuff was growing? Because ain't nothing overriding what we got now. And very few wild plants are now used as food sources. Hello? And when they say very few wild plants are used as food sources, what they mean is you people are not going out eating it, and it is not sold in any market near you. It is forbidden. It is prohibited. So you don't even know what a real cabbage looks like.
That's right.
Ain't never had a mustard green in your life. We got to go back generation. Okay. So that's the cultivar. But then they got something called a cultigen. The cultigen is worse than the cultivar. Because the cultigen doesn't have a wild source. See, the cultivar, they go take it from the wild and then they splice it. So let's talk about the carrot. For those who know me on Facebook, you've seen me with the wild carrot. The original carrot. So what is the original carrot? It ain't the different varieties that you see in the supermarket now, or the small ones, or the blue, or the purple, or the green, or the orange, or the red. They got, what is the ones that got old, long stalk? None of them. The wild carrot is in the wild, and it is prohibited for you to even sell it. You can go out and eat it if you want, but you can't get it, can't sell it. Now, what is that carrot you see in the supermarket? It is a crossbred between the wild yam and the Queen's Anlace plant. The Queen's Anlace. Right. So they took these two, spliced it, took out information, crossbred them, and made that orange thing that you see. Now wait a minute. So would that orange thing safely be called a mutation? Come on, y'all. You got to figure it out. You need scientists to come up here and tell you that this is what the heck they're doing. They love it. You got the book of Allah. Don't be afraid. It's a mutation. Don't look at the original one in the wild and look at that in the air and it's a complete mutation. So no wonder. And that was back then. That's when they were just playing around. They're doing some stuff now. I can't even. It's right here. It tells you here. They're doing plant breeding, right? Genetically modified, right? They got grafting. They doing all kinds of graft, hybrid. They're doing everything. They're just playing around now like, hey, they'll eat it, right? Give it to humans, they'll eat it. I was in the wild. I spent most of my summer out in the wild, right? That's what they like to call Allah. Now, isn't that a nice name? Give it a negative connotation, right? They say, Sister Karimah coming to y'all masjid, she's a little wild. Right? Let's give it a negative connotation, so you'd be scared to go out there, right? Well, I hung out there this summer, man, and man, I see rabbits come out, deers, and they was telling me like, hey, come on, get in here, Karimah, get in here. I'm not coming out there because y'all got some stuff. Rabbits don't look like rabbits no more. The rabbits y'all got don't look like us. No, you should see this stuff out in the wild. SubhanAllah, you know? But alhamdulillah, so what am I getting at? Really quick, anybody know what the wild common foxglove is? Anybody? Anybody familiar with heart medication? You don't gotta tell me if you're taking it or not. Just, are you familiar with heart medication? Have you ever heard of a medicine called digoxin?
Yes.
Okay. Here's your original dig. All your medicine, all your food, every single thing that you can think of, it grows. God put it there. You don't need heirloom seeds to get it. You don't need Monsanto to set your seeds free. Nope, nope, nope. Let me tell you what happened real quick as we close out. See, it's a cardiac medicine. This here is called what? This is, they call it a group of medicines extracted from what? Foxglove plants. And this is really important because they've taken your medicine, they've taken your food, and they've not only just changed it, they made you pay for the poison. But here, Allah says what? There's your original cabbage right there. That's the original. Yeah, it's in the wild. Yeah. And so you saw that picture where they took the broccoli from this part of the stem and all that. Yeah. I'm going to tell you something about how Allah blessed me with the wild cabbage. But listen, Allah says what? This is Surah 80, Surah Abasa. He said, أَنَّا سَبَبْنَا الْمَاءَ سَبًّا ثُمَّ شَقَقْنَا الْأَرْضَ شَقًّا فَأَنبَتْنَا فِيهَا حَبًّا. What did he say? And definitely we sent the water down in abundance. And he speaks in past tense for all of this. And we broke open or split open the earth. And we put in the earth the seed and caused it to grow. Now where are your seeds? Monsanto ain't got mine. They in the earth. They in the earth, and every year that food comes and goes. Some of the animals that's in the wild go and eat it. And they just looking like, oh, humans, y'all deteriorating. And the food is just growing. It grows in the wild. And people that are foragers, I'm a forager, right? If you don't know what a forager is, you should go see that they're coming back. Especially the Europeans are doing it big time. I am a forager because this is the food that Allah gave us. And I didn't finish with that surah. Anybody have that surah in front of them? Because Allah says, if you have it in Surah 80, right? You can read the English. I'm going to finish up that verse. That surah is Surah Abasa, and I am reading from, where are we at? 80? Yes, it's Surah, I think it's 80 or 82. Let me see.
No, it's 80.
It's 80, right?
It's 80.
Right, and I'm on verse, Allah says, فَلْيَنْظُرِ الْإِنسَانُ إِلَىٰ طَعَامِهِ. So let man look at what? At his food. أَنَّ سَبَبْنَا الْمَاءَ صَبًّا. Oh, I'm sorry, I'm on verse 24. I started at verse 24. Now your translation ain't gonna match what I'm saying. So you gotta go get your those that do Arabic, you need to go do your homework. Alright? So, okay. فَيَنْظُرِ الْإِنسَانُ إِلَىٰ طَعَامِهِ. So let man look at his food. أَنَّ سَبَبْنَا الْمَاءَ صَبًّا. As we sent down the water in abundance. ثُمَّ شَقَقْنَا الْأَرْضَ شَقًّا. And we split open the earth. فَأَنبَتْنَا فِيهَا حَبًّا. And we put the seed there and caused it to grow. وَعِنَابٍ وَقَضْبًا. And what? And grapes and what?
Food plants.
Right. وَزَيْتُونًا وَالنَّخْلًا.
And olives and dates.
وَحَدَائِقَ وَغُلْبًا. Gardens, come on.
Enclosed gardens beneath.
وَفَاكِهَةٌ وَأَبًّا.
Trees and the fruit of flowers.
Okay, now here's the most important verse. You ready? مَتَّاعًا لَكُمْ وَلِأَنْعَامِكُمْ.
For us in community.
Yes! He put all that in the earth for who? get somebody's organic, seedless, organic seedless, which is really needless. I told you I was a rapper. So let me get on here and change my rhythm. I got 5 minutes to put a closure on this. So, I can't show you this video, but you can go on YouTube and see the video about the wild cabbage and so forth. I want to close out on, let's see. So, wait a minute. Now remember, all I did was give you little bits and pieces from different modules. Right? Just throwing it at you. You have to bring the course here and get this 100% each module. 2-week program. Right? But now listen.
Okay, I come to you.
Alhamdulillah. Philadelphia is the next place I'm supposed to be, inshallah. But I don't know. They Philly playing around. Who is behind this change to Allah's creation? Now we said Allah said don't let there be no change to His creation. So who do you think is the one behind it? Huh? All right, because listen. I already told y'all in the beginning. Allah didn't say, oh, children of Adam, do not let the white man. I know, we know he is behind a lie. Right? So, Allah said what? Don't let Shaitan, let Satan trick you, trap you, seduce you as he got your parents kicked out of the garden. Now, I haven't even taken you to that because that one verse leads you to several other verses and you can't get that till we do the program. But it leads you to so many other verses that's going to show you the trickery of Satan. But now look, let's see. Can everybody see this picture?
Yeah.
Does that ring a bell to anybody?
On that house. That kind of down.
There's the ear, but what's wrong with the ear? All right, come on, anybody? Does anything connect to you? Do you connect to anything? Is anything in the law, the Quran, anything? All right, so let's move real quick because we ain't got that much time, so I can't torture you like I do my students in class. So here it is right here. Okay, Allah says what? Now the verse before this, Allah actually telling you what that is shaitan. So this is, I started at 119. And shall lead them, meaning shaitan, shall lead them astray and fill them with vain desires. And Allah, this is shaitan talking, sorry. He said, and shall lead them astray and fill them with vain desires. And I shall command them and they will slit. The word is slit, but they like to use the word cut, but slit, cut the ears of cattle. And I shall command them and they will, there's no word, it's not corrupt. He said in the Arabic, I will command them and they will change Allah's creation. But all who take Satan rather than Allah for their master do indeed most clearly lose all. So if you go to the Arabic, here he says it in Arabic, فَلَا يُغَيِّرُنَّ خَلَقَ اللَّهِ. Anybody know the root of that word? غَيَّرَ. And I was in Mauritania with a woman that was a hafizah of Quran. She memorized Quran. And the students was all around me because the young people love to flock to me. Right? And so they were all like, Sister Karimah, Hajjah Karimah, she really knows, blah, 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 blah. My Arabic was real poor, didn't know much, right? And so the lady was like, she don't know nothing. She can't even speak Arabic. She don't even know. You know, but they see that, no, they changing the creation of Allah. She said, there's nowhere in the Quran that Allah says that His creation can be changed. Haram alayha. It's haram for her to say that. And I didn't even have my book with me, and I didn't even know what I was doing. Can't remember what verse, because that's when I was just getting on the, you know when you just get on the ride, right? You can't wait to get out there and be telling people, right? And I had to call the young boy back in the village. He was from Somalia. And I said, listen, remember we was talking about that verse? He's like, yeah. I said, where is it? He said, what you mean where is it? I said, where is it? I got this lady right here, she telling me I'm a liar in front of the young people. He said, it's in the second hizb. I said, hizb, man, what is the name of the story in the verse? He said, Karimah, they don't teach Quran memorization like that over here. This is Mauritania. He said, wait, let me just start reciting. He started reciting. And she just looked at me like, they ain't got nothing. And finally he made it. And when he made it there, I opened up the Quran. I told her to read it. And she said, A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajeem. She said, Hajjah Karimah. She called me Hajjah Karimah from that point on. And I don't need all that. I just want to tell you that they're changing it. Now look, that's a spider goat, like I said. You haven't seen no spider goat. That is changing the Lord's creation. Allah is telling you that is Satan. So he holds out promises to them and fills them with vain desires. Yet whatever Satan promises them is but meant to delude the mind, just like he did our parents. I close with this right here.
Welcome to the bowels of my laboratory. Today, I got a great story for you. Many times science is just about minutiae details that are totally uninteresting to the general public. But I have an article today that is going to change the world. And it's about a new understanding of what is called microRNAs. No, wait, it's not that serious. Let me just tell you about it. Here's my thought. Once, a long time ago, we thought that genes control life. And then there are new research that, information that I was pioneering over 45 years ago, my stem cell cultures, have now revealed a new science of genetics called epigenetics, which simply means epi above, genetics, so above genetics, information and control above genetics. We find that the environment is translated by the cell, and that environmental information is then used to select and activate the genes. So this is really cool, and this is epigenetics, and yet we find out, well, what is it that actually alters the readout of the genes? Well, that's where the microRNAs come in. Now we find that the microRNAs are actually epigenetic mechanisms. The microRNAs bind to the chromosomes and alter the readout of the genes, so that a single gene program can be modified to create thousands of different kinds of proteins from the same blueprint based on this epigenetic modification. For the longest time, we thought if we just eat food, our digestive system breaks down that food, and the cooking will break down living things, or freezing and all that will neutralize all the aspects of the food so that we can use just the food as building blocks. However, something new is found, and this is about the microRNA. It turns out that the microRNA molecules in the food we eat is picked up by our digestive system and transferred to our own cells and regulates our own genetics. So all of a sudden the concept of what you eat, you become, actually has a scientific foundation to it. It says that we alter our own genetic readout by the food we eat.
What's really important is for you to understand that the food has been completely corrupted and changed. You might as well forget the whole organic thing. I was in the store with a sister that I did the class with, and she was like, man, I don't know which cauliflower to get. She said, because I know you, since they all been changed, right? It doesn't even matter, right? If it's organic or not. I said, I mean, literally, it's a game. And we're paying this money because nobody's telling you to go where? Go back to what God has given you. Yeah. And you're petrified to do it. You see? And so we're constantly changing. We're mutating because the food is mutated. So when he's telling you that microRNA, I don't even care about the scientific terms. Here's it in a simplistic form. The food, the molecular structure of the food has changed. When you eat it, it goes in and changes you on a molecular level. How do we know that that happens anyway? What do you think I'm feeding this little girl for? So she can continue to grow. If she doesn't have food, that the building blocks and the proteins to help her grow, she'll stay where she is. So if food is doing that on a cellular level, and we went away from it, no wonder they can say by 2030, 90% of the population will have some form of cancer. 99%, ladies, will have breast cancer. That's 2030. 90% of our children will be on the autistic spectrum. And there's a new cancer called DPIG. It's a brain tumor for children. They walk around looking just fine, doing just fine. They reach age 12, 11, 12, and all of a sudden they got a headache. So when you look at that terror tumor that is growing in that woman, what is going to be growing out of us by 2030? And what are we planning to do? How do we fight it? The number one thing that you have is an immune system. If your immune system was designed to be your military force, to protect you, like you have that door there and you have military standing there. If every day the military never gets a chance to get a nap, go to sleep, go to the bathroom, rest, what's going to happen to the military? Yeah, they're going to be able to help you. They're going to die out, don't be no benefit. All right, you ready for this? Your immune system identifies foreign invaders. So you drank a cup of juice. Your immune system has never seen the molecular structure of juice in its life. Starts fighting. You eat food. Never saw that. See, do you hear that disease called autoimmune? Then you wonder why your immune system is fighting the mess out of you? Because it's never seen the stuff you're putting in. So your immune system is fighting all day, every single day. And then they tell you, well, you have a mucus, you're inflamed. I guess we are. Isn't that what inflammatory response is? Right? You get inflamed because your boys are getting ready to fight, right? Getting all that, get the white blood cells there and everything. Right? You're constantly in an immune response. But the body is now attacking itself. Because you're supposed to be eating for nourishment and healing, and you're eating, causing an immune response every time. So you have to rebuild your immune system. And you say, well, Sister Karimah, what do we do? Because everybody's going to go out in the wild and do that right now. So what do we do? Well, our beautiful sister right here, she said it. Right? And I love to bring it from Swell Calf. Because they were in a similar situation as us. Right? And when they woke up, they realized they were hungry. So they said, go down and look for some food with this paper money. We use paper money. That's a whole other talk, another lecture. So they went down. And he said, when you go down, he said what? Look for azka ta'am. Look for the purest of food. Because all the food was corrupted. So look for the best of the worst. That's the first thing you can start doing to build your immune system. And the best of the worst, I'm sorry, not sitting in Whole Foods. I'm being honest. The best of the worst, go find your local farmers. For real, if you want to get the best of the worst. But if you say, well, look, so I can't get to my local farmers, all right, then you can go in the supermarket, all of them. All of it is the same cauliflower and Whole Foods is the same thing there. They all do hybrid. Oh, you like that word organic? So you want the organic hybrid. No problem. Pay $5. That's what I'm talking about students. I said, pay $5 for that organic hybrid. I'm like, they all hybrid. So, again, you know, alhamdulillah, I thank Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for giving me the opportunity to come here. I apologize to the cameraman, because it's hard for me to stay still. It's just hard. And I mean, that's every day of my life. And my son is the same way. He over in Dubai. And he said he's teaching the students like this teacher with dizzy. That's just alhamdulillah. There's so much more to this. This is just what we call an appetizer. And we don't leave you just on that note. We have so many solutions. I just spoke with a brother named Fareed. He has 140 acres of land. 140 acres of land, but it ain't just 140 acres of land, because I went out there. He told me yesterday, he said, Sister Karimah, I want you to know that this land has never had any fertilizer. Anything, no weed, nothing. Right? No herbicides. Can you imagine that? No, listen to the word, because I'm trying to get y'all to listen to words now. Herbicides, suicide, homicide. Wait a minute, somebody killing y'all herbs? Y'all fine with that? Oh yeah, you like to go buy them from the herbalists, right? Your herbs are growing out there, and that's why I brought this right here with me today. Because I'm always, I can't ride in the car. I tell you in a minute, pull over. And they're like, what? Because I just saw something. Now you can't stick your hand in here because you'll be angry with me. This is what? This is wild stinging nettle. Yeah, and you got everybody online, I gotta buy me some nettle, They charge me an arm and a leg. I don't want that. That cultivated cultivar. This is in the wild. I was up in Fresno, up in the mountains, and got me some nettle. And I already made a whole pot of tea and drank it. But I've been picking nettles since last year. But you know, this is just beautiful. So when I'm talking about Allah's food, it's out there and it's growing. And I close to allow you to ask me questions with this here. I went to Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, and I did a 3-day workshop. You actually can find them here. Those workshops are here on CD. I went there, and as I was doing the workshop, I got to talking about that wild cabbage, and I put the video on. I didn't have time to show you all the video, but you can go to YouTube and find it. And I told him, I said, I've been looking for the wild cabbage, man, forever. That's the last vegetable that if I can get that, man, I'm coming on. I'm gonna be like the forager. Him and his wife, they did a challenge for 90 days, only wild. And they got rabbit they was eating. He said they finally got a deer. They went wild on everything, wild on meat. And he said what happened to their bodies was something he could never imagine. I have his foraging book. And I said, if I find that wild cabbage and get it going right, I'm going straight wild. I'm going 90 days wild. Right?
Call me.
Look, I got a whole bunch of my students say, come on, Sister Creamy, let's do it. I said, wait, I got to find the cabbage. Now look, my students called me up and said, Sister Creamy, you ready? Now listen, I was in Philly saying I got to come all the way to California because somebody told me they spotted it here. And I said, oh, I got to come to California. All the way to California? I don't even like flying. I ain't going all the way to California to get no wild cabbage. So I taught, and I was real like, I was into it that weekend in Philly. I got back to Atlanta. I came out, Sister came to pick me up the next day. So I came out to go take her to get some water. And I came out the door, and you can actually see this video on YouTube. You can't hear me, Allah took the volume off. That's probably a good thing. Because I was like, wah, wah. And people had heard me screaming to the volume, you can't hear me, but you can see me going crazy. And then I did a follow-up video explaining to you why I was going crazy. I walked out the door, and what is in the yard? I told her, I said, is that the wild cabbage? And she said, girl, ain't no wild cabbage. And I ran over there and I said, oh my God, it's wild. Even the parts of the wild cabbage, you'll find the broccoli particle, you'll find the collard green, all of it on there. And I ate the broccoli, and I told her on the video, I said, taste it. She said, ooh. You know, I'll wait till you revive tomorrow. If you leave tomorrow. But she saw me, I was like, oh, go crazy. Like, oh, you take this like broccoli, man. So she finally took a bite. She's like, oh, man. But what was so amazing about that was, it was Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala telling me. Because so many times I want to give up. Imam Qasim got on me so many times. He said, you go ahead back up in the mountains with your camel and your goats or whatever. Allah going to bring somebody in your place and they're going to do it better. And you're going to see that you threw away the manna that Allah gave you. There's so many times I want to give up. And it's just little things like that. Like Ibrahim alayhi salam said, look, how do you cause what? How do you bring the life to dead? And Allah says, what? You don't believe? He said, oh, I believe. I just want what? Mutma'inna. I just want to feel like, you know, I'm doing this like you with me, Lord. And when I saw that, I got the wild cabbage right now growing, because I got to get my whole yard full of it, right? And hey, I'm done. I'm making my sauerkraut from wild cabbage, and I'm just going to be on my straight wild eating. But alhamdulillah, Allah is definitely here. He wants you to get this message, my brothers and sisters in our community. I got people that call me all the time to go to the other communities. They will pay the money. And I said, nope, Allah put me here. So it's up to you. It's up to you to bring us out here. You will hear us promoting, trying to get that land, that 140 acres of land that is pristine. We're trying to get it now. He's selling it for $300,000. 140 acres. Sister Karimah about to be. It's in Georgia. But don't worry, everybody can benefit from it. Because when we get it going, we're going to be doing everything that we can to make sure that we can make sure that all the communities can benefit. So ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to have mercy upon us. Ya Rabbil Alameen. We thank you for bringing us here, all of us here safely in the rain. We thank you, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, for allowing the community to accept and hear the message that I gave. Anything that I gave that is correct, that is pure, that is upright and righteous, it is from you, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And everything that is incorrect is from my own error. And I ask you to forgive me and have mercy. Assalamu alaikum.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. فعرفت إبليس وجميع المفاسد. وبسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. قسمت رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم.